طيب، بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تمسك بسنته بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, after praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending the salutations upon the Messenger alayhi salatu wassalam, upon his family and his companions, and upon all those who follow upon his guidance, the establishment of the last day. Proceed, Ikhwan. فاللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وربنا زدنا علما والحمد لله رب العالمين. Oh Allah, we ask that you teach us that which will benefit us and benefit us with that which you have taught us, and increase us all upon knowledge. And all the praise belongs to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. Allahumma aslih lana sha'nana kullah wa la takilna li anfusina tarafata ayn. Oh Allah, we ask that you rectify for us our affairs, all of our affairs, and that you do not leave us to ourselves, not even for the blinking of an eye. Brother says the shasha laysa mawjuda. طيب. What about now, ya ikhwan? طيب جميلا. طيب، فنواصل معكم في هذه الليلة المباركة الكريمة عونا من الرحمن الرحيم. So we continue in this blessed noble night of ours, seeking the aid and the assistance of our Lord, the most merciful and the most compassionate, the most merciful and the most compassionate. مستفيدين متعلمين من اللغة العربية as we continue to learn, educate ourselves from the science of the Arabic language, طيب، فلأصحاب الكتب فلعلنا وصلنا إلى صفحة 73 أو 74. What's the last page that we went to, يا إخوان? 73 or 74? The last page I remember was 73. Uh, 77 was the last page we went to. I think that's the seven. طيب. طيب. كملنا الحوار بين إسماعيل وعمر. We read the last dialogue we had was between Ismail and Umar. We read that. طيب. طيب. لا بأس، نبدأ هنا إن شاء الله. We'll begin here. طيب، من يذكرنا بكلمة تعلمناها قبل? Who can give us a word that we had the honor to learn previously? Alright, one of the words we had the honor to learn was the word شخص. طيب، شخص is a person, an individual. No. والجمع الأشخاص, and the plural is الأشخاص, or nakira أشخاص, and the plural أشخاص, individuals or person. طيب, وماذا بعدها? What's another word we learned يا إخوان? We learned مثلا. طيب, جميلا. We learned the word مثلا. If you want to say for example, or I'll give an example, you say مثلا, and you leave it منصوبا, leave it accusative. مثلا, for an example. It can also mean, I'll give you example. Further. How would you be able to use? You know how the scholars use it when they say "mithal"? Is that any type of sentence, or would you? It has to be a certain sentence to use that. Our brothers asking sometimes when the people of knowledge يتكلمون, when they speak, you hear the word المثال. عندما يستخدمون هذه الكلمة يمكننا أن نستخدمها كما نستخدم مثلا. The same way you hear the scholars use this word المثال is the same way you can use the word that we just learned. مثلا المثال. When they say المثال, that means the example. So they're going to give you an example after that. If the sheikh says المثال, for example, or you say مثالا, you can also say. Similarly to how we're using مثلا, you say مثالا, same way. An example, it's a different word, same origin. No. My brother asked me today, sometimes in our posts, we say تقرب وقت الدرس. We say تقرب. He said, why don't you use the word اقترب? Wouldn't that be better? I says هذا بنفس المعنى, that has the same meaning. You can say تقرب, to be close. قرب, it's close. اقترب, something is coming, something is close, something is approaching. So words, you can also say قرب. Words can have multiple meanings. You can say قرب, to be close. قرب. You can also say, how I say it a lot, تقرب on the fifth form. تقرب. You can also say اقترب. اقترب, something is coming close, is approaching, something is near. Similar meanings. قرب, to be close, or to be near. تقرب, something is near or close. اقترب, something is approaching. If something is approaching, it's close, it's near. No. Any meaning here? But قرب is to make something close. That's different. طيب, مثالا, المثل, المثال, they all mean the same. تعلمنا كلمة أفصح من هذه. We also learned another meaning that's a little more eloquent than مثلا. Same meaning. نموذجا. No one said that one. نموذجا. In this whole series, they don't really use the word مثلا a lot. They use this phrase. نموذجا. Same meaning. An example. A pattern. No, an example. You say نموذجا. That's eloquent. Make it in the accusative. You say نموذجا. For example, نموذجا is like saying مثلا, like saying مثالا. No, you said the same thing. نموذجا, مثلا, مثالا, same. They all mean an example. Or let me give you an example. الله أعلم والحمد لله ورب العالمين. طيب من آخر له أو لها كلمة جديدة. Who else has a new word يا إخوان that we learn before we begin? ماذا؟ أئمة. جميلا. A word we don't hear that often يا إخوان, especially where we live. أئمة. أئمة. The Imams. أئمة. Imams. Leaders. أئمة. وذكرنا أن درجة الإمام فوق درجة الشيخ. And we mentioned that the level, not the status, title, or position of like a community or a masjid or a school or organization. No. Talking about the level of one's knowledge. The word Imam is higher than the level of the word Sheikh. Imam is extremely high. The word Imam is extremely high. The word Sheikh is a general word for scholar. The word Imam, Imamu at-Tirmidhi, is higher than a Sheikh at-Tirmidhi. لا يقال الشيخ at-Tirmidhi. You don't say Sheikh at-Tirmidhi, Sheikh al-Bukhari, Sheikh, لا. He's higher than that. So you say Imam. No. طيب. قال في الفصل. So he says once again, in the class. Lesson B or B, part 2. طيب أخذنا حقيبة. We learned the word حقيبة. أخذنا كراسة. We learned the word كراسة. Did we read this one already, أخوان? I think we read this one already also.
No, we did. We read this one.
الحمد لله. وقرأنا هذا الحوار. We read this dialogue بين عائشة وفاطمة, between Aisha and Fatima. طيب توقفنا عند آخر الجملة. And we stopped at the last sentence here, or the next to the last sentence, where she says خذ الورقة. خذ الورقة. طيب كلمة أخذ. The word أخذ. اكتبوا هذه الكلمة. Write this word down يا إخوان. أخذ. 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 في المضارع يأخذ. يأخذ. To take, or he took. Take, or he took. طيب في الأمر, in the command form of the verb. في الأمر, the command form of the verb, نقول خذ. خذ. In the command, you say خذ. You're commanding someone to take. خذ. طيب خذ. وتعلمنا كلمة أخرى بنفس المعنى. And we learned another word that has the same meaning as take. في النحو, in grammar. And that is, من يذكر, who remembers? Who remembers the word we learned that has the same meaning of ماذا? The same meaning of take. أحسنتي. عندك. عندك. Now this is in grammar. The word عندك, there are a few different ways you can use it. This is grammatically, you can use it بمعنى اسم فعل أمر. It's a noun, using as a noun that has the meaning of a command form verb, which means take. So she says مثلا خذي الورقة. خذي feminine. خذي الورقة. الورقة. She's talking to a female. She says خذي الورقة. Take the page or take the paper. طيب. خذي الورقة. Take the paper. She could also say عندك. عندك الورقة. Same meaning. Same meaning. عندك is in place of خذ. عندك here means take. So you can say to a female عندك بمعنى خذ. That has the meaning of take. عندك الورقة. Take the paper. Page. خذ and عندك have the same meaning. خذ and عندك have the same meaning. طيب نواصل. Let's continue inshallah. قال طيب التمرين الأول. أولا استمع وردد. Exercise number 1. Listen and repeat. ما هذه حقيبة. طيب whose turn? Sister Valesi. إذا تسمع كلمة ما عرفنا ماذا. If you hear the word ما, what do you know? What is that a point to?
Asking a question.
طيب هذا للاستفهام. Is something asking a question. جميلا. Sister نادرة. وماذا عنها أيضا. What else do you know when you hear the word ما?
It's something does not have intelligence, or I'm not sure that's what it's saying.
No, you can say intelligence.
It's not a person.
Hey, not a person. Intelligence. أو عقلا. No. طيب whose turn? أبو زبير. ما هذه. إذا تسمع كلمة هذه ماذا تدل أو ماذا تشير إليه. If you hear the word هذه, what does it teach you? What does it point to?
Something with an akal.
طيب something that has an عقل with هذه.
And naturally, generally something that's near.
And something that's near. طيب you can say that. Another benefit يا إخوان, remember هذا and هذه and تلك and تانك and تينك and ذانك, all of them can be for عقل أو لغير عقل. That's a benefit. I hope we mentioned that last time. The word هذا, the مذكر masculine, هذا and هذه feminine, you can use for للعقل وللأشخاص ولغير العقل ولغير أشخاص. You can use هذا and هذه for that which is العقل. It can also be for لغير عقل. So you can say للعقل أو للأشخاص, as I mentioned. It can be for something that has intelligence or rationale or the ability to choose from right or wrong. It can also, or a person, which is easier. And it can also be for لغير عقل ولغير الأشخاص. It can also be for other than عقل. لغير العقل أو لغير العقل. And this should be, take this alpha lam off يا إخوان. طيب ولغير العقل, and without, other than something that does not have an intelligence, or you can say وغير الأشخاص. Remember, with the هذا and هذه, both are there. You can use both. But هذا and هذه. هذا is not only for those things that are للأشخاص, the people or persons or mankind or the jinn, or العقل, those things that can rationalize, meaning they can determine from right or wrong. And it can also be used for other than that. No, but that's a benefit. وغير الأشخاص. So it can be used for both. Alright, someone else. When you hear هذه, whose turn? What else do you know? What's coming next? When you hear هذه, whose turn? Where's Sheikh Nakir, ya ikhwan? Can point to a noun or ism. Can point to a noun. It can also point to a verb. It can also point to a particle. Something specific. When you hear هذه, all of you know كلكم تعرفون هذا. When you hear هذه, ماذا يأتي? What's coming next after هذه? What does it point to? أحسنتي. When you hear هذه يا إخوان, تدل على الأنثى. هذه points to something feminine. على الأنثى. That's the main difference between هذا and هذه. هذه is going to point to something feminine. Right. إذا تفهمون هذه القاعدة, if you understand that point, that principle, تفهمون هذا, then you also understand the main thing about هذا. Right. إذا نرى هذا أو نسمع هذا, عرفنا أنه وأنها تدل على الذكر. If you see هذا, it's just like هذه. The only difference is the gender. That's it. Right. So هذا, let's make this, if you say كلمة هذه, it will be feminine. If you leave it by itself, it'll be masculine. We'll make it by itself. يدل على الذكر أو المذكر. Right. That's it. Points to something masculine. من لا يفهم, who doesn't understand يا إخوان. ما هذه. The last thing about ما, لا يذكره أحد منكم. Nobody mentioned it. About ما. What else about the ما? No, our sister mentioned, I believe. Say it again, Alia. Probably it can also be negation. طيب. What about when it's with هذا? ما. If you hear this, ما هذا, what does that ma show you here? I think somebody mentioned it, or were they talking about? I think the sister mentioned it, but I think she was talking about having something specific about that ma. ما هو الفرق بين الماء والمن? What about the difference between ma and men? Right, the ma is without the aql, and the man is with the aql. Somebody said that, right? Right. طيب قال بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هذه حقيبة. So he says this عرفنا or briefcase أن شيئا أنثى ستأتي بعد هذه لأن هذه تستخدم للأنثى. So you know naturally if the person has proper grammar something feminine is going to come next because they use the feminine اسم الإشارة because they use هذه. So whatever's going to come next is going to be feminine. So they say هذه حقيبة because حقيبة is مؤنثة, is feminine. Alhamdulillah. طيب. So he says طيب ما هذه صورة حقيبة. So هذا مضاف إليه a picture of a bag. ما هذه and then he says صورة حقيبة. طيب usually إذا عندنا اسمان usually if you have two words two nouns صورة and then you have حقيبة. صورة حقيبة. طيب with the ashkal is easier, with the vowels is easier. If one is بدون تنوين then usually the second is مضاف إليه. Now without the vowels is tricky. You may have to know the meaning of the word, but if you have the vowels usually it's easy. The first one is ضمة مثلا أو فتحة بدون تنوين. And the second one is usually going to be مضاف إليه. Or if you say مثلا صورة ثم ألف واللام. So you see one has tanween and then you see after that alif واللام and they both are nouns. Then the second one is usually the إضافة. صورة الحقيبة. Now remember يا إخوان the مضاف إليه doesn't always have to be something that you own. That's why if you notice when we translate it we always say or the thing that's attributed to it. Some people teach the object and then the one that owns the object. That's actually not accurate. For example, you can say مثلا طيب كتاب المعلم. Man, you tell the Jim who can translate Sister Valisi. كتاب المعلم. طيب the teacher's book. جميلا. طيب عفوا. The teacher's book. In English, you're going to add the apostrophe. طيب. Where's my tea at? طيب. And المعلم يملك الكتاب. So now here, the teacher possesses the book. طيب. نقول مثلا هي حسن الوجه. طيب who can translate? Whose turn? Sister Nadira. هي حسن الوجه. Oh yeah, حسنته.
I'm not sure about that one. I don't know.
طيب عالية عينيها help her out. هي حسنة الوجه. طيب the face of beauty, correct. Now make it make sense in English.
Oh, she has a beautiful face?
Hey. So she is beauty of face. طيب doesn't make no sense. Now you have to make it be accepted in English. So it's a fancy way to say she has a pretty face or she is pretty in face, meaning her face is pretty. But it's really not implied. That's there. She is pretty, meaning she has a pretty face. That'll be accurate. Oh yeah. الشاهد. The point here. استخدمنا مضاف إليه. We also use the same structure. مضاف إليه. حسنة is the مضاف. الوجه is the مضاف إليه. What's the point here? في الأولى المدرس يملك الكتاب. In the first example, the teacher owns the book. In the second, there's no owner. We just use the structure. So it doesn't mean that someone owns it. No. Something is being attributed to something. Pretty or beauty is being attributed to the face. Okay. How many examples you can use, يا إخوان? Oh yeah. You can say مثلا what's another example of a word that's using a مضاف إليه to replace an adjective? طيب, if you were to say مثلا طيب له حسن القلب. حسن القلب. He has حسن القلب. A good heart. له حسن القلب. The qalb doesn't own the good. No. But the good is attributed to the heart. So you're just using the structure. He has a good heart. So the point is structure. ماذا؟ But you can also say that. Yeah. There are many ways you can use it. Our sister says, what about the phrase غرفة الجلوس? غرفة الجلوس. نعم. Another way. The room of sitting. The sitting room. Same structure. مضاف إليه. But the room is not the owner, or sitting is not the owner of the room. No. Just attributed. Sitting is attributed to the room. غرفة الجلوس. The sitting room. Or the room for sitting. So the مضاف إليه is just a structure. It doesn't mean someone always owns it. No, it could be attributed to someone or something. Like here, غرفة الجلوس. انتظري أو انتظروا في غرفة الجلوس. The people come visit you and you say, wait in the sitting room. You may call it the living room in English. No problem. The room of sitting. That's where your comfortable furniture is. Your pillows are there. Alhamdulillah. Or غرفة النوم. Same thing. غرفة النوم. The room that's specified for sleeping. غرفة النوم. The bedroom. The room for sleeping. If you have a room that you sleep in, this is called غرفة النوم. A room for sleep. Or the right? One famous one here from the people of knowledge. The people of knowledge. You call them أهل العلم. أهل العلم. أهل العلم. The people of knowledge. أهل العلم. No one is being owned there. Nothing is being owned here. No. Knowledge is being attributed. أهل العلم. The people of knowledge. Meaning the scholars. أهل الأهواء. The people of desires. Ahlul Bid'ah, the people of innovation. All that's mudaf, mudaf ilayh. No. طيب نواصل, let's continue inshallah. قال هذه حقيبة, this is a book. هل هي حقيبتك, is it your bag? Or هذه حقيبة, this is a bag, عفوا, a briefcase. هل هذه حقيبتك, is it your bag? نعم هي حقيبتي. طيب, two ways you can use this يا إخوان. طيب, he says نعم هي, has to be feminine. حقيبتك أو هي حقيبتي. نعم هي حقيبتي. Yes, it is my bag. نعم هي حقيبتي. Yes, it is my bag. هذا الياء من أي نوع? This ya is from what category? من يذكر, who remembers? يا المتكلم. نعم هذه حقيبتي. Yes, it is my bag. طيب. طيب. Yes, it is my bag. Now, you can also say, but it's not going to be mudaf mudaf ilayh now. If you say نعم هي حقيبة لي. Same meaning, but we said it differently. First has the mudaf mudaf ilayh. Second بدون مضاف مضاف إليه. طيب نعم, yes, here it is. حقيبة, a bag, لي. Yes, it is a bag belonging to me. Same meaning. It is mine, it belongs to me. You said the same thing in a different way, in a different structure too. One is مضاف إليه, one is بدون مضاف إليه. حقيبة لي is the same meaning as حقيبتي. But the first مضاف إليه, second no مضاف إليه. So there are many ways you can say certain things. Wa alaikum salam, Sheikh Shakur. How's everything يا شيخ? كيف حالكم الليلة? طيب. قال سؤال, question. هل عندك نعم عندي حقيبة. طيب, this is another fun one we can play with يا إخوان. عند أو معي. طيب, it says هل عندك حقيبة. هل عندك حقيبة. Do you have a bag? Do you possess a bag? عفوا, not possess. Do you have? Do you have with you? Oh, not bad. You can make it. Do you possess? We'll make it easy. Not bad. Do you have a bag? Do you possess a bag? A briefcase or a bag? So he says, Na'am. Why don't this stay big? He says, Na'am. عندي حقيبة. Yes, I have a bag. All right, we'll give you a few different ways you can use this عند. Yes, I have a bag. عند is a ظرف. It's a preposition. It's a ظرف مكان, and it can also be ظرف زمان. The word عند is a ظرف. You're going to say ظرف المكان. It can also be ظرف الزمان. So عند can be both a preposition of time. It can also a preposition of place, and also a preposition of time. عند. So you're going to write ظرف المكان, preposition of place, and الزمان. How can a word be both? How is that? Accent. Depending on how it's being used. Preposition of place and of time. So it's both. It can be used both ways grammatically. So when it's used for time, it's a preposition of time. When it's used for place, it's a preposition of place. فنقول مثلا, so we say for example, أراك عند الفجر. أراك عند الفجر. I'll see you inshallah at Fajr time. أراك عند الفجر. I'll see you. Say you're talking to someone. Say, inshallah, I'll see you later, akhi. I'll see you at Fajr. Meaning at the time of Fajr. I'll see you at Fajr time. I'll see you at the time of Fajr. So, استخدمناه للوقت. So now we used it for time. So it's a ظرف للزمان. ظرف للزمان. So it's a preposition of time. Because how we used it. فنقول مثلا أراك عند المسجد. And now you say, I'll see you. Say you guys are together somewhere. I'll see you inshallah at the masjid. I'll see you at the mosque. So now was ظرف للمكان. Now is a preposition of place. على حسب الاستخدام. على حسب الاستخدام. Depending on how you use it. Depending on how you use it. طيب وهو مضاف. Now the tricky part is also مضاف. والذي جاء بعده مضاف إليه. And whatever comes after it, or the noun that comes after it, is going to be مضاف إليه. So it's عند المسجد. عند الفجر. Genitive because of عند. So it's not like في or على, but it's similar to them. It does the same action that they do, but two different types of words. في is not a مضاف. على is not a مضاف. باء is not a مضاف. لام is not a مضاف. طيب. But عند is a مضاف. أمام is a مضاف. وراء is a مضاف. طيب. So they look similar. They do similar work. طيب. So now عند, we're going to give you two different ones you can use. I want you to practice with all of them, inshallah. So عند or عندي, I have. You can also say معي, I have. And you can also say لدي, I have. عندي, I have. معي is with me, or I have. لدي, something is with me, or I have. They all have the same meaning. عندي, معي, لدي. Now, one of the tricky parts is that مع قد يكون أخص أو أخص. طيب, مع and لدي can be أخص. Now, although they mean the same, I have, I possess, معي and لدي, or مع and لدى, can be a little bit more technical. Inda can mean I own the thing, but I might not have it with me. Right? You're traveling. I'm with Abu Zubayr. We're at the bookstore, and I say, عندك هذا الكتاب. I say to Abu Zubayr, هذا الكتاب. Do you have this book, يا أخي? هذا الكتاب. Do you have this book? He says, نعم. عندك هذا الكتاب. You have this book? He says, نعم. هو عندي. Yes, I have it. Then I say, أينه? Where is it? Yes, في البيت. He says, yes, I have it. Then I say, أينه? Where is it? He says, في البيت. For example. So I have it, but I don't have it on me. Get into there. So عند mean the same, to have, to own. But you may possess it, but it may not be with you. Ma'a, you own it and you have it. Lada, you own it and you have it. So grammatically, it can be slightly different. So I say, هل عندك هذا الكتاب? Do you have this book? That's what I said. He says, yes, I have that book. So then I said, where is it? He says, yes, I have that book. Oh, I have it. And I said, أينه? Where is it? He says, it's in the house. So you can own something, but it may not be with you presently on your person. It says, it's in the house. That's the main difference. But technically, they mean the same. To possess, to own, to have. Our sister says, I'll be right back. I'll tell you. In general, I want you to practice with these three. Write these down. عند, and then مع, and then لدى. Possess, to have. So you can say عندي سؤال, I have a question. معي سؤال, I have a question. لدي سؤال, I have a question. They mean the same. And they all are the same type of words. Alright. نواصل, let's continue inshallah. ماذا تقرأ وتكتب? So we have a new lesson. ماذا تقرأ وتكتب? What? طيب, let's see who can translate this يا إخوان. Whose turn? Abu Zubayr, تفضل. What is read and what is written? تقربت, close. Sister Nadira, تفضلي.
What do you read and what do you write?
Alright, what do you read? What do you write? You can say that. And it can also be something else. What are you reading or what are you writing? Close, same, similar. Give us a different meaning. It could be two meanings here when you translate it. Or even in Arabic when you understand it. If you say ماذا تقرأ and تكتب, you could be saying this or that. And they both are correct. ما the taqra'u and taktubu. You could be saying this or that. I'll give you a hint. Something about the ta. Something about the ta on both. This ta can be this or that. It could, close. تقربتي. You're like when Abu Zubayr, you're close right there. طيب. Our sister says, what are you reading and what are you writing? Correct. It can also be what? Says Zakiya. It can also be what? ماذا تقرأ وماذا تكتب. I could be saying this or I could be saying that. And they both are correct. طيب. The ta can go back to anta, or this ta can go back to here. On the mudari, if you just have the ta, you could be saying one of two things. Anta, or you could be saying here. Pay attention there, ya ikhwan. The tricky things, remember, in the mudari, there's only a few letters you can use. So somebody has to be shared. Only alif and noon and ta and ya. What else, ya ikhwan? Alif, noon, ta, ya. That's it. Alif, noon, ta, ya. On the mudari, every mudari is going to begin with either alif or noon or ta or ya. That's it. But there's so many pronouns, so someone has to be shared. So when you see taqra'u by itself, this can be one or two. This can be you masculine are reading. Taqra'u, anta taqra'u, meaning you are reading, masculine. And it can also be hiya, she is reading. So by itself, you don't know. If you just see taqra'u, this can be you masculine, you are reading. It can also be hiya, she is reading. So here, our author could be saying one or two things. Now it appears he's talking to the reader because it's the mukhatab. That's true. But just to be fair, he could be saying this or that. He could be saying ماذا تقرأ وتكتب. What are you, masculine, reading and writing? But he can also be saying what is she, third person feminine, reading and writing. So this ta by itself on the mudari can be for anta, and it can also be for hiya. ماذا تقرأ? What are you reading? It appears he's talking to the second person. Yes. But in the language, it can also be hiya. Like the hadith of Jibril. عندما قال عمر, when Umar said, جلس إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فأسند ركبتيه إلى ركبتيه. هذا ظاهر. That one is clear. ووضع كفيه على فخذيه. Like in the hadith. And you have to be fair in the hadith. No matter how you look at it, you have to be fair. When Umar says, this hadith comes two ways. It comes narrated by Umar and Muslim. It also comes narrated by Abu Hurairah in Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Hurairah mentions it generally. Umar mentions it specifically. طيب. When Umar says, فأسند ركبتيه إلى ركبتيه, until he placed his two knees to his two knees. ووضع كفيه على فخذيه. Where's my call? فخذيه. Alright, the second part is the issue that the scholars differ on. فأسند, so he put together, he joined together ركبتيه إلى there should be an alif إلى ركبتيه. Alright, until he joined his two knees to his two knees. His two knees to his two knees. So the man came to the Prophet of Allah and he sat so close to him, asnada rukbatayhi ila rukbatayhi. He joined his own two knees to his two knees. The second part is the issue that the scholars differ. Wa wada'a, and he joined, or he placed kaffayhi ala fakhidayhi, and then he put his palms upon his thighs. This has two meanings in Arabic. Even in English, if I say I place or if I'm narrating the hadith, he placed his palms on his thighs. Whose thighs? His own or the other person's? And he placed his palms on his thighs. Was it his own thighs? Or was it the thighs of the Prophet? Scholars differ. They both are allowed in the language. And they both are allowed in the custom. To the Arab, it's okay to sit attentively on your knees, straight up, with your own palms on your own thighs. And this is the strongest opinion. This is the more natural way. I'm coming to ask you a question. So I put my knees to your knees. Allahu Akbar. And I put my own my own palms on my own thighs. That's natural. But it's not a contradiction in the Arab world, in the Muslim world, to put your own palms on the thighs of someone else. You see that a lot. So both are there in the language. Wallahu alam. Allah knows best. The first way, majority of scholars say that's the more accurate way. Allah knows best. طيب. قال الكلمات جديدة, new words. يقرأ, he is reading or he reads. Next word, عالية تفضلي. طيب, عنوان is an address. It could be a literal address of a house, an address. عنوان, an address. Can also be a title, like of a book. عنوان, ما هو العنوان? What's the title? It could be a subject. No. عنوان can be an address or an address, a title, can be a subject. You know how you go to a lecture and it says title, Rahmatullah, the mercy of Allah. Had an unwan. That's the unwan, the subject, the theme. Oh, that'd be a good one. The theme. Tayyip. What's turn? Sister Valacy, next word. Good. So hijratu has many meanings. Ikhwan. Hijra, the migration. Hijra. You can migrate from a place. The origin is that you migrate from a place of disbelief to a place of belief. Migration. You can also migrate from a person. where you're boycotting and stay away from someone. You can also migrate from an action, from sin and transgression, from evil. The origin is that when you migrate from a place of disbelief to a place of belief. Like Abu Zubair, next word. Like Sa'bun is difficult or hard or rough. Sa'bun, someone that's strict. Oh, who is Sa'b? He's a difficult person. This is difficult. It's perplexed or complex. Understand. Hard, difficult, rough, complex. Hard to comprehend. Sa'b. طيب, whose turn? Nadira, next word. طيب, Sahlun, عكس صعب. Sahlun is the opposite of Sahel. Sahel is the opposite of Sa'b. Easy, accent. Easy. Simple. We're away from being simple, ya ikhwan. Sometimes from simpleness is just being quiet. Now it's time for you just to listen. Not time for you to advise. No. Now it's time to just shut up and just listen. Easy. Simple. MashaAllah. Clear. طيب. Just do one more and then we'll try to start the reading, inshallah. Whose turn? Sister Valaisi, تفضلي. طيب, درس. تعرفنا درس يا إخوان. You all know درس. درس is a lesson, a class, something of benefit. Some of the sisters, they believe the husband has to teach. Some of the brothers believe the wife has to teach. Islam doesn't say that or that. Islam says, ذو علم يعلم, صاحب العلم يعلم. Some of the brothers, they believe, well, I'm the husband. No, I have to teach her, ya akhi. I'm the man. And some of the women think, no, he has to teach me because he's the husband. He has to teach me. That's my right. Class. Listen. Some of the brothers think, no, she's the woman. She has to teach me. It's not like that. Islam doesn't say this or that. Islam says the one that has the knowledge teaches. If the wife is the knowledgeable one, then yes, she teaches you. Allahu Akbar. If the man has the knowledge, then he teaches her. Alhamdulillah. But he's not teaching her because he's a man. No, that's not the sunnah. She's not teaching him because she's a woman. No, that's not the sunnah. If they both have knowledge, Allahu Akbar. She can teach him, he can teach her. Allahu Akbar. Sometimes, especially for the married couples, no one has to always be the sheikh. Sometimes we just can learn together. Let me recite this hadith on you. Allahu Akbar. And she recites this hadith on you. Alhamdulillah. Most of the time when you do counseling, ya ikhwan, the main reason the man is at his end and the woman is at the end, the main reason is because we don't study no more together. You ask the average couple, when is the last time y'all did something of benefit together, religiously benefit, for your soul, knowledge? When the last time y'all read some Quran, one page, and watch their answer? When was the last time y'all read a hadith together? When was the last time you heard your wife recite a surah, or she heard you recite a surah, or y'all both recited a surah? And this is the number one reason that many of our marriages end. Because for whatever reason, not we go to class together. Many of us do that. I'm talking about in the class, in the house, where let me share some benefit with you. Allahu Akbar. And she says, hey, we learned this tonight in class. Let me share this with you. Because many of the men, for whatever reason, we can't take from our wives. And many of the women, for whatever reason, they can't take from the men. For whatever reason. I don't know the reason, ya ikhwan. But if it's right, it's right. It's not a principle that you only take from those more knowledgeable than you. You're going to make a lot of error if that's your methodology. You're going to make a lot of error if you don't take it from your wife. If she's right. Now, if she's wrong, she's wrong. That's different. If he's wrong, he's wrong. That's different. أتكلم عن من يوافق مع الصواب. I'm talking about when the person is right, when they agree with what's right. And the person gives you what's correct, and you say, no, that's my husband. I don't take from him. Or that's my wife. No, I'm not taking that, ya akhi. I only take from the mashaykh. No, that's the origin. But don't only. If it's right, it's right. If your husband is right, he's right. If the wife is right, she's right. So many of the reasons why we do counseling and the likes, the main reason that many of us are on the brink of parting ways is because of learning together, studying together, sharing the knowledge together. And no one always have to be the teacher. Sometimes let's just read together. You read the first 5 ayat, I'll read the second 5. Alhamdulillah. You read this hadith, I'll read the next hadith. Alhamdulillah. And then y'all can share the benefit, especially 2 students of knowledge. Wallahi ikhwan, give me some benefit from that. And she shares this with you, you share that with her. Watch your closeness after that. For example, and may Allah unify all the Muslims. So let's have our brief reading, inshallah. So we have Ismail and Umar. Ismail and Umar. We're just going to read. Everyone's going to read. And then we'll stop for tonight, inshallah. What do we have here, Ikhwan? On Abu Zubayr and the sisters. Where's Sheikh Nakeh? We have to call somebody, remind me. I'm going to try to call Sheikh Abu Daim, Ikhwan, to make sure our beloved brother is okay. Haven't seen him in class in a while. No, inshallah he's doing well. Abu Zubayr, you be Ismail. And I'll be Umar. So he says, كيف أصبحت? How did you awake? بخير الحمد لله. Upon goodness or in goodness. All praise belong to Allah. تفضل. MashaAllah. What are you reading, O Umar? أقرأ الدرس الجديد. I am reading the new lesson. The new lesson. Oh, he's a good student. طيب. تفضل. So he says, what is its title? What's the subject? عنوانه حجرة الرسول عليه السلام. Its title, its subject is the migration of the Prophet of Allah. He says, Naam, he says, that was me. أنا قرأته. I read it. Father. I thought you began. Labat. Oh, I was. You was Ismail. I was Umar. Afwan. You're right. That was you. أنا قرأته. Afwan. You said, I read it. I say, هل هو صعب? Is it difficult? So he says, no, it is easy. جدا. Very easy. No. Alright then. Now for our sisters. Alia, Sister Nadira. Ali, you can be Ismail. Sister Nadira, you can be Umar. Where's our Sister Nadira, Ikhwan? Assalamu alaikum.
خيرا الحمد لله.
جميلا.
عمر أقرأ الدرس الجديد.
ما شاء
ما
الله.
عنوانه؟ هجرة الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم.
جميلة.
أنا قرأته. هل هو سهل؟ لا، هو سهل جدا.
جميلة. طيب Sister Felici and Ali, you can read with Sister Felici inshallah. طيب Sister and Nadira, as they read, you translate as they read.
You want me to be Ismail?
So Sister Felici is going to be Ismail, Ali is Omar, and Sister Nadira, you're going to translate as they read.
كيف أصبح؟
Good.
كيف أصبح؟ How are you doing?
Good.
بخير الحمد لله. Good. All praise to God.
Good.
ماذا تقرأ يا أمار؟
Good.
What are you reading, Omar?
Good.
أقرأ الدرس الجديد. I am reading a new lesson.
Good. Good.
عنوانه هجرة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Good.
أنا قرأته.
You didn't translate, Nadira.
What is its title?
Good.
Its title, The Hijrah of Rasul, of the Rasul.
Good.
أنا قرأته.
Good.
I read it.
Good.
هل هو صعب? Was it difficult?
Good.
لا، هو سهل جدا. No, it was very easy.
ما شاء الله أحسنتن جميلة. May Allah bless you all. طيب inshallah ta'ala, we'll leave the explaining and deriving the benefit of the dialogue to the next lesson inshallah ta'ala. Everyone passed their exam, alhamdulillah. Our sister Nadira came she's one of our new students here, so she didn't take the test yet. Inshallah ta'ala, we'll give her some time and then she'll take the test. So we're not going to go over the answers yet. We're just going to let everyone know firstly that everyone passed, and then hopefully tomorrow so you'll see your scores as I usually post them. And if you don't mind, I'll post your scores, alhamdulillah. There was only one perfect, unfortunately. There was only one perfect. A lot of mumtaz, a lot of excellence, a lot of jaydun jiddan, extremely well. The lowest person I believe got a jayd jiddan, very, very well. But there was only one perfect. We'll wait. I believe that was by our beloved brother Bain. He was the only one that got all the answers correct. Everyone else missed maybe one or two. I believe our lowest score maybe missed 3 or something like that. So everyone, our sister said there were two perfects. Two perfects. Abu Daim, who was the second one? Sister Zakiya. Yeah. Alia and Abu Daim. Sister Zakiya missed one answer. I believe Sakina missed one answer or so. Abu Zubair missed one answer, I believe. The lowest score was, I believe, 3 wrong, which is excellent, Allahu Akbar. So I was really proud with everyone this test. Inshallah, we still haven't got to the test when everyone gets a perfect. That's what I'm waiting for, inshallah. So there were 2 perfects. Ali also had a perfect, and Abu Daim had a perfect. I believe Abu Zubair missed 1. Sister Zakiya missed 1. I think Sister Carol missed 3. Sheikh Nakir missed Ibrahim. I didn't see Ibrahim's yet. So we're going to send the scores tomorrow. We're not going to show what your actual the answers yet, as we still have a few people still waiting. We're going to give our sister Nadira some time as she just joined, inshallah. And we're still debating on the certificates. Are we going to do it every level, or how the Sheikh does it every book? So we may do it every book, inshallah. So we have the Ta'bir certificate for everyone that completed the Ta'bir, and then the Quran. So you have 2 certificates coming, inshallah. And you see how fast this book here is going also. And then after our test here, you inshallah should receive a certificate in this book also. So you have 2 coming, and then tomorrow or so I'll post everyone's scores once again. And may Allah bless you all. Keep up the good work. May Allah honor and raise each and every one of you, ikhwan. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.